is mighty sweet. Liberty sows its seed at Farpoint Farms.
Hey guys, it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains of North Carolina. Today I wanted to talk to you about this cool thing I picked up at a flea market. This was 10 bucks, man. This was kind of cool for 10 bucks. It's a Wagan Tech, W-A-G-A-A-N Tech. And this is like one of these, I can't even remember what they're called. It's a powered cooler, right? It uses like thermal coupler. I wish I knew exactly what the technology is, but I remember when it came out hearing about it. And instead of using like normal refrigeration techniques, it uses a giant heat sink and like a microchip, it looks like. But it cools stuff down or heats it up. It can heat it to about 140. It can cool it to about 30 to 35 degrees below whatever the temperature is right now. Today it's about 60, 65 degrees here on the farm. And I wanted to show you why I got this. I mean, why wouldn't you? But anyway, for 10 bucks, right? I'm going to tilt it up here and I'll show some close-up pictures. Here's a picture of the top and here's a picture of the inside. It's a 10 quart and they've changed it. Here's a picture of the side. You can see the switch between hot and cold, and it runs off of just 12 volts, and it does have this fan out in the front here. So anyway, it's got cup holders, it's got a place to put like an armrest here, and it fits in your car. This one also still even had the like carrying handle, so obviously you couldn't have it with the handle while it's powered, but it's also insulated, so once it cools down, it pretty much stays cooled down. Now this model is no longer made. Apparently they got like a newer version of it. It's a 7 quart, and I saw it when I was trying to figure out like, you know, how this thing operates. I found the online on Amazon, eBay, and stuff like that. But anyway, search for Wagan Tech if you're interested in these, and I'm sure other companies make these as well. But yeah, it's cool. So what I'm going to be using these for is camping, right? Like last year, if you followed my channel, we got big into solar here. We already had solar on the property at about 175 watts scattered around the property, and now we have about 2,000 watts scattered around the property. This is part of that ongoing like move to go off grid. You got to find things that are energy efficient and find things that run off of 12 volts or 24 volts as opposed to 120 AC. So I have got an 100 watt panel on the roof, and I'll be making a separate video on that here shortly, because I've never really gone over it. But I did go over last winter this Geartist, they call it a power station. This is the G301, but like there must be 1,000 different brands that make these things. Jackery being a big one, Eco Power, Eco Solar, something like that being another. And these are, this one's 300 watt. These are cool because built-in inverters, so I have 120 volts, 300 watts out, plus I've got, you know, my 12 volts out, and there's even USB ports on this one. So it's capable of doing one or the other, and it's capable of charging off of a car battery while the engine's running, or off of solar, which is the way I've been charging this one, or off of just regular plug-in. And so depending on the load, this thing will last, 7-8 hours for powering up small equipment. This is small equipment. So what I'm going to do here, just to show you how this thing works, and we'll do a little time test with it. I've got the plug for it, and that's all this is, man. There's not a lot to this, but it's got a nice long cord. So if you want to have this in an RV or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. I'm going to plug it into this device as well. We're going to pick cold. Okay, I've got a thermal temperature gauge right here, and air temperature right now. Well, we'll make it very official here. I'll measure the inside. It is 60.9 degrees, and just so y'all know I'm being fair here, let me get the camera flipped around there. Hopefully y'all can see that. All right, now that it's been open for a second or two, we'll call it 61. Fair enough? 61 degrees. So I'm going to turn on this, and it's got a full charge right now. We should hear the fan kick on here in a second. There we go. Right, and I'll close it up. See the lights turn green, and you can see the fans come on. Well, you might not, maybe you can hear it. All right, so let's just run this thing and see how well this thing performs. I'm not going to put anything in it. I don't want to have like a cold soda or a hot soda or anything to mess with the process that this works at. But it is, if you can see my very poor quality watch here, it is 3:41. So let's come back in an hour and see just how well this thing is doing. And then we'll come back and see also just how much it's eating power-wise on one of these little power packs in an hour. So to give you an idea how long you can run it completely off-grid. And again, with solar recharging capabilities, this thing could run certainly during the daytime hours easily. I don't know the exact wattage this thing draws, but I would imagine it's got to be nearly 100 watts just for the sheer size of it. All right, I'll be back in an hour. All right, just so you know how quickly this thing appears to work, because I'm kind of surprised too. Battery's still at full charge. It is 3:55, so it's been 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes, right? And it was 61 degrees. And it is reading 46 degrees. So almost a 20 degree, well, 15 degree drop in 10 minutes. That's pretty cool. Can't wait to see what it does in an hour. Now, I don't think this thing will go down below freezing, so I'm going to imagine it'll bottom out somewhere around 35. 61, 31 would be 30 degrees, and it says 30 to 35 degrees, but that's if it was 80 or 90 outside. Anyway, we'll let it roll. All right, here we are. Hopefully you can see that. It is 4:42 right now. And before I open this up, I'll also point out that this has only used 1 bar of energy. So figure a bar per hour, 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar. So maybe 5 hours, maybe 6. That's not bad. All right, let's open this thing up and find out what the internal temperature is after an hour. I have to imagine that it will have cooled down to its maximum, cooling capability after an hour. Let's open this thing up. Yeah, 29.6 degrees. Oh yeah, that is super nice. Okay, now I was not aware that this thing would cool down below freezing, but apparently 35 degrees or 30 to 35 means 30 to 35. So that is so awesome. Oh, wow. All right, well, I'm going to shut it off. I'm not going to run this thing, for 6 hours because I don't know about you guys, but I intend to be in bed in 6 hours. But I want to show this to you. I don't know if you're aware of these things. I'm thinking like 10 years ago, probably when this thing came out, we borrowed one from my in-laws for a trip, and it was huge. It was like the size of 5 of these things. And I remember it working pretty well. We brought some food home from a long trip, and it worked great for the trip. I've never seen one this size. Kind of forgot that they existed until coming across this one at the flea market. And now that I know they exist and having gone on Amazon and eBay and seeing that they're still around, this manufacturer still makes a newer version of this, I figured I'd share it with y'all. Very cool stuff. Anyway, that's it for today. I will be making more videos. Let me just show you real quick. This whole series kind of on those portable packs. I've got this that I also picked up at a flea market. It's called the Road Pro. It's a little cooking tray, and it also operates on 12 volts. And on the bottom here it says 150 watts on that. So we'll be testing that. I've got a 12 volt fan. I've got some other cool 12 volt stuff. So this is part of a series of being able to run stuff purely off of solar and being able to run stuff off of, camping power packs like this. So I hope you'll stick around for the series. I hope you'll enjoy learning about new things like I learned about today. Till next time, my friends, take care.